So we're lucky enough to have a pretty robust recruitment team within the company because there are some really specialized roles. When you think about, again, I mentioned we're hardware, so we have some really specialized engineering needs. We're moving cameras. There's certain specialists, people that are just really good at camera lenses. So because of that, we knew early on like we needed recruiters on both sides, the engineering side of the house and then the support staff side of the house. So when we're looking at pipeline, what we're doing is much like how I talked about during that legal offsite, creating the keywords of the individual that we were looking for and creating the keywords for the candidate that we're looking for, partnering with my recruitment manager and saying, I know this person exists. Here are the keywords to go find this person in all of our networks and the LinkedIn tools. And when we're getting those inbound hundreds of applications for one job posting, these are the words that I want you to be thinking about as we are manually reviewing every single resume that comes through our door and making sure that we're not missing anyone through any automated processes. So because of that kind of digging for the talent, we're making sure that we're also not digging without a goal or digging without knowing exactly what we're looking for. And then sometimes there are surprises. There's, wow, I wouldn't expect this person to fit with this background to fit all of the needs of our team. They sound interesting. Schedule a call. So a lot of it has been a little bit of headhunting on our end of folks that we have found, but also giving the recruitment team the playbook to make sure they're pulling out those gold nuggets from the pile.
Megan, anything you want to add there about building your pipeline?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think I take a little bit of a different attack than Mike, which is I am like just very involved in all of the recruitment, interviewing, and not to say that you're not, Mike, but I don't have the luxury to be able to rely on a recruiting team who's able to do the level of digging that it sounds like your team can. And maybe the first is ABB, always be building. Even when you're not building your team, you're actually building your brand, which is going to build your team in the future. And the role might not be open now, but 6 months, 12 months from now, when that role is open, you want to understand who in your network can recommend people, who has a profile that is similar to what you're looking for. How do you think about skill sets and progressive experiences? And I've found that I have not been able to rely on my recruiting team for that a lot. So I've had to really dig down deep and roll up my sleeves. I'd say that I have oscillated on this topic, and I'd be curious even among the group because what people find for legal jobs. I've started from a place of not wanting to do practical interviews and exercises in an interview process, and I've actually turned myself towards the very other end of the spectrum, which is now I really like doing practical exercises for everybody I hire for because I think it's a great way to figure out how somebody problem solves in real life. And so it doesn't mean it's going to be a 2-week big treatise and review and write this document, but I try to make a practical exercise component part of all of my hiring, attorneys and non-attorneys alike, because I want to understand how people learn and how people communicate. And so for me, that is also a big piece of the recruitment process because I find that area is where I can really kick people out or really bear hug them in because I see them in real life and how they problem solve and how they can work through things that they don't know. Because at the end of the day, you get in the role and you're going to not know a bunch. We're all going to not know a bunch. And so how you act when you don't know something tells me a lot.